Hi, welcome to Create Art with Jazz. My name is Jasmin, and my mission here is to create, inspire, and motivate. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. For this tutorial, I will be using a sketchpad and pencil, the Apple iPad, the Apple Pencil, and the Adobe Draw App. That is optional, but you definitely will need pencil and paper. So I'm starting off by drawing the top of the unicorn first. I'm drawing in his horn with a pencil, and I'm sketching it in lightly so that if I make any mistakes, it'll be easy for me to go back in and erase them. So next you want to draw the hair of the unicorn. I put a little picture there so that you can see what the finished version will look like. You can also use that for a reference, or you can come up with your own unicorn. So we're going to draw in the hair. Next I'm drawing in the ear, and you want to make an outline for the ear. If you look at it, it's almost shaped like an upside down V, and then another shape goes inside of that almost reflects that outer shape. So we're going to draw the hair, and we're going to just draw it in chunks. When you're drawing hair, you want to draw the direction of the hair first. So don't go in with a lot of detail, especially this is a cartoon. So we just want to draw the directional lines of the hair. And we're going to change this unicorn up a little bit and make him fun. He's a dabbing unicorn, and he's also wearing glasses. So I added the glasses in, and I'm also drawing in the arm. The arm is bent. If you look at the shape of the arm, it's almost shaped like a sideways V as well. So when you're drawing, make sure you pick out those shapes. Every drawing is almost like a puzzle, and if you can put those shapes together, you'll have the picture right. So as we're drawing this, we want to keep in mind proportions and perspective. So take a good look at the picture, make sure that your picture is in proportion, and you may want to draw lightly as well so that you can erase if you make any mistakes. So I'm just going around and I'm going to erase it a little bit so that I have more room for the nose. And I'm going to draw the nose end of the unicorn right into the inner part of the arm bend. So his nose is just peeking out from underneath his arm. I'm drawing in the unicorn's hair and his mane, and you want to make sure that as you're drawing the lines in, that they stay in a directional flow. You don't want lines to cross each other or go in different directions. So in art, one thing that makes art look very beautiful and nice is if the forms repeat themselves. So we're going to have repeated line shapes throughout this unicorn cartoon. So I'm just drawing his arm in, and it's just going out on an angle. Now for this to be a dabbing unicorn, you want to make sure that you get the dab angle right. So take your time, make sure the arm isn't going straight up into the air, and make sure that it isn't going downward either. So it's going off to the side away from the unicorn. Look for those negative and positive shapes as well. So if you look between the ear and the arm of the unicorn, there's another V located inside of that shape. So now I'm just drawing the body of the unicorn, and I'm taking my time to make sure that the proportions are right. You want to make sure that your unicorn's body is in proportion, but this is a cartoon and you can stray away from the tutorial a little bit if you want to make your unicorn bigger, wider. His legs can be longer or fatter than the ones that I have here. It's a cartoon, so have fun with it. Okay, so I'm going to draw in the unicorn's feet, and those are just a very simple shape. If you look at them, they're just a couple of lines that connect to the sides of the legs. So don't spend too much time on those feet. We can always go back to those and add detail when we add the color. So I'm going back up to the top of the head, and I'm adding in more hair. I didn't have enough hair on the mane of the unicorn, and I decided to make it a little more fuller. And I'm adding the mane around the side of the unicorn, and it almost looks like a rainbow shape. So whenever you're drawing, and if you're trying to learn how to draw, look for the shapes inside of shapes. And I'm seeing little rainbows and little hook shapes, and I'm just following the lines along to make sure that the directions are going the same way. And I'm also making sure that the hair connects to each other, because we have the arm in there, so that blocks part of our view. So you want to just take your time and draw the hair in there. You can even draw the hair on top of the arm lightly and erase it away so that your lines connect. And I'm drawing in the tail of the unicorn, and I'm going to just really have a lot of fun with that and make it go up and swoop around. Now I'm just going back and defining my unicorn and adding in a few more details. And this next step is optional. You can take your unicorn and outline it with the pen, or you can bring it into the iPad and you can outline it in a drawing app. I'll be using is Adobe Draw, but you can bring it into almost any app as long as it has layers, and you'll make sure that you draw your outline on a separate layer. And I'm just going around now and making sure that all my lines are connecting, and I'm making sure that I'm happy with the proportions and the fullness of the hair at this point. So yep, I'm really liking the design, I'm really liking the outcome, and I'm just defining it a little bit more so that it stands out and so that I can see it easily. So I noticed that my unicorn's horn didn't have the stripes in it, so I went back and added the stripes, and I'm adding the stripes in. I want to put a lot of different colors into that horn, so I'm making sure that I have a lot of slots for the unicorn's horn. And it's looking pretty close to my picture. So now I've taken a picture of it and added it into the Adobe Draw app, and I'm just going around very lightly with the Apple pencil, and I'm tracing around my drawing. So this just gives it a nice outline so that we can cartoonize this unicorn and make it look more professional and clean. So I just want to take your time and go around. Also at this point, you can add to it. You do not have to stick to the original sketch. If you would like to change things up a little bit, you can. It's okay. Whenever you're designing or creating, make sure that you're having fun with it. Make sure that you're exploring new techniques and new looks. And don't confine yourself to one design, and definitely don't confine yourself to the first design that you come up with. So I'm going around and making sure that my line weight stays consistent. It's heavier on the bottom areas, and it's pretty much the same all the way around. And I'm just gonna go around and make sure that all of my lines are connecting. If your lines don't connect when you go to fill in the drawing, you won't be able to, so you have to go back in, and you may want to zoom in so that you can make sure that your lines are closed. If you're doing this with traditional materials, it's okay too, and you want to make sure that if you're using a pen, that you're not pressing down too hard or too long in a certain spot. So just keep it moving. Don't go too fast, but don't go too slow either. And I noticed that the faster I go, the cleaner my lines are, the more consistent the line weight is, and the more control I have over how the outcome comes out. So we're just gonna fill in all of the details and make sure that we get this outline fully done so that we can go in and add the color to the unicorn. So I'm just adding in his glasses, and I'm just checking because as I get around the mane and the ear, there's a little more detail there. So I want to zoom in and make sure that I can see everything that I'm doing. And I'm just adding in the hair of the mane and just zooming out. This is a very fun project. This is something that you can do on a rainy day or a snow day, or if you just want to experiment with cartooning. And pretty much the technique is the same. You can use this technique to draw more intricate things. I like to do my outline. I like to do my outline in a sketchpad first. I feel more comfortable using a pencil and paper at first. I like to bring it into a digital app to make it look more clean and professional. So we're just gonna go around and fill in the black for the unicorn's horn. And I'm just adding my lines in. I'm trying very carefully not to add too much line weight to this part because I don't want the unicorn's horn to draw too much attention. Wherever your heavier lines are and darker lines are, you will definitely draw more attention to those areas, especially if it's black and white. The heavier line weight will attract your eye to it because it adds more contrast to the picture. So keep in mind when you're doing your outline if you want that line weight there or not. If you don't, then don't add it. You can always, if you're in a digital program, you can go back and redo it. And if you're using a traditional method like pen or ink, just take your time and draw that in really slowly. So I'm just going to speed it up and show you how it looks colored. You can have fun with that part, add whatever colors you want. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. And I'll see you on the next video.